Hello, everybody. I said that I was going to stop, as in there's been a little, um, what would we call it? An oversight in the broadcasting. What's happened is Alexander Smith decided that he was telling a wee porcupine on Facebook. The reason why he was telling wee porcupine is because his property was attacked by evil men a couple of nights ago. So he thought he had caused the problem. So he decided that maybe it was time to come off the internet so that the attackers would not decide to attack again. But he has decided that he will be looking into, with his mother, some surveillance system set up for his premises. So I decided I wasn't going to take a break from YouTube or Facebook. So I am back with a vengeance. But tonight's episode is dealing with a scammer. But the thing is, I can't do it over the phone because the scammer does not want to, should we say, pick up the telephone, the dog and bone, and do it over a live. This scammer has been there several days on my Facebook since I started contacting it, which I should have left it alone, but I didn't realise that it was a scammer. Basically, it has taken the value of £350 off the channel. It's taken it off the channel, the £350 off the channel, which means then that we're £350 short of prizes or stock, should we say, physical stock for the company. But we are not going to ask our supporters for money because we never have done. When I say we, I mean me and my conscience. I don't ask you for any money. The only thing I ask you is for your support, your time, and to watch the videos and enjoy the videos. Right. So we will presume with the recording, and I will share the information with you because the information is on said tablet, and it seems to be on Facebook. Today, I can't see any comments, so if you're commenting, guys, I can't see nothing at the moment. If anybody wants to join the panel, they can join the panel if they so wish. That's your choice. Just ask for the link. As long as you don't be vulgar, rude, or have negativity. That's all we ask. I want to be able to read what it's been saying and get everybody's opinion on said scammers on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, wherever they come from. I want to be able to do investigation work, as in my own investigation work, to find out if they're real without this time giving them any cash. I think I might be onto something. I'm like, will this work? And I'm like, the channel hasn't taken off yet with the coins because the coins are American based. We will be doing Price Said Wheel, which you all have seen the video, but we need to decide day and a time for that. But today we are not on about said wheel. We're on about exposing a scammer and what it says to a person who it thinks it's single or is single, and what it tries to achieve by saying said things. So I know I've not got a lot of space in here at the moment because I'm busy working on 2 projects at the moment. I put the coins slightly on hold at the moment, but you guys know that we can resume in between between 2 projects. It just takes a bit of that one, because there's only said one of me and no other helper, because mum takes nothing to do with it. It's not her bag, it's not her cup of tea. It's not that she doesn't want to be on camera. She is quite happy doing her own thing. So that's her choice, that if she wanted to join, which she's more than welcome, and people have heard her voice, have heard her say, do you want a cup of tea and stuff like that. But I don't expect her to make, say, cup of teas and all that carry on. She does it off her own back. And why should I stop her if that's what she likes doing? Doesn't mean that I'm lazy. It doesn't mean that Alec is lazy. Mum is actually away on holiday at the moment, and she will be back Monday coming. So we will be having a discussion on Tuesday about, this is becoming new to me now. I put the comments away and I didn't realise that box goes away now. Now it's back. Hi, Silver Scorpion. On the last video you've seen, I turned around and said that I don't know if you've seen the new video that's out. I must have been in top form, and I started thinking, how do I put the way I put this across? Because I did do one that was supposed to be the truth, but it didn't seem to get the words properly, and it wasn't to my specifications, and I thought, it doesn't come over well. It doesn't seem to sound the right thing, or it's not 100%. And I was like, all right. And I just done with rabble, and it came out, and I was like, and see, when I actually watched it back, and I was like, that is a good vid. That is a good video. But the thing is, that video was long because it took, I think, 3 hours. 3 hours to download that. And I was like, what the hell's happening? But I know it was small because I'd done it on tablet. That's what had happened. Instead of me, and I'd done portrait, and when it went on to YouTube, it didn't turn itself round. So I should have put that on. What I should have done was put it on landscape, so that then it ended up exploded it. But the reason why the sound went down is because I was standing at the back, and the mics are on the jack ports there. You're more than welcome, Silver Scorpion, want to come up and panel, because I think everybody's allowed to join. I never ever stop people from joining if that's what they want, but it's only people that actually I know, and I know you because you've got a channel your own, and a lot of the people that's on Facebook. But this is about a scammer that's on Facebook, and I want everybody's input as in what it's. I'm going to read out what it's saying, but some of it I might have to miss out. A couple of them bits that I might have to miss out in, because it starts getting, I don't know, slightly explicit and stuff like that. And I'm like, that's not what I want to show. I want to show how a scammer carries on when it's trying to get money from somebody. Because I want to I do want to expose it. But what happened is today it blocked itself, then it unblocked itself. Now, I don't understand why it came back, because the video was put on Facebook, and then I thought, hold on, I'm going to go in the other room. I'm going to put this on YouTube, and I'm going to expose it even more, because it keeps saying that it's not a scammer, but it keeps asking for more money. So basically, it's asking for train fare, saying, as in the train fare, and it's saying, I want to come and meet you. But I need money. It's already had money. It's had money in PayPal account, which it says it's got an issue. But PayPal, I've already been on to PayPal, and PayPal said, you cannot receive this money back, sir. I said, why? They said, well, even though that it's got a pending hold on it, it's basically classed as a gift. So that person has to voluntarily give it up. And she's going, oh, but my pal's got it. It's my sister's pal. It's got it. But they went out a nightclub, nightclubbing or whatever. I'm like, hold on a minute. And I told her, I says, they've spent your money. They've spent your money, the money that I passed you to go to you for this so-called train fare to come and see me. So then it turned around and says, well, can you not put any more money in? And I thought, okay, right. I gave 150 quid. So I done a bank transfer. And that actually covers the price of a single ticket. But instead of me saying, it's asking me, well, how am I going to get back? Walk it back. Fucking walk it back. But Alex, no, that way. He wouldn't do that to a person. He wouldn't leave them stranded if they wanted to go back home. Because that would be technically kidnap. Holding somebody at their own free will, that's kidnap. I wouldn't do that. I don't want police involvement. But the thing is, that's what it's doing, scamming people. That's fraud, and that's classed in the UK as fraud and deception. That's what that's classed as, fraud and deception. Because it's promising the world. But it's not coming, it's not playing its end of the bargain. And I'm like, well, come on then. Play the fucking game. And it keeps on and on and on and spurting out shit. And I'm like, now what can I do with this? And I'm like, well, I don't know if I want an outcome with it, but I was like, well, if I don't get my money back, what if I could get the views for it? The views. I'm like, pull in the views. This is why I decided I'll come on here, because I'm like, let's get the views for it. Let's build the channel in the right way, because the whole idea wasn't to do eBay, used to do the wheels. Because there's mountains of stuff here, there's mountains of stuff here, but the thing is, the only help I need is a little bit from yous lot. Maybe even, the thing is, I thought, well, right, my idea is if we had a pot, we don't touch the pot, and we put a little bit in the pot. And every time we put a little bit in the pot, that would help towards the cost of the shipping across the globe. Because I don't want to section out other supporters that actually follow the channel. Because I don't want them feeling sectioned out. Because I've been there when Lincoln Central was a mod for Joe Durbin. Lincoln was doing his job, right? Not going to decry Lincoln down, because that's not me. I don't bash, because Lincoln's dead. He can't defend himself, right? Now, the mod was only doing his job, which she was told. USA address, right? So I couldn't get into Joe's, but I knew Joe from Lemonhead Pennies auction, right? So I wanted to get in there with the other parties that were in there, because I got on well with them. So eventually, Craig Durbin was sitting in a panel or whatever, and this is why I give Big Red the credit, because the credit is due, right? So, Big Red, which you know, Redneck Metals, RN Metals, said to Joe, I-710, said to Joe, why is Alec not allowed in here? Joe looked round and went, hold on a minute. So Joe decided to put up the $5 donation. You put it into your pot or whatever. It then gets subtracted from the balance of what you bid for in the auction. So, brilliant idea. This is a brilliant idea. But the thing is, there's no UK auctions for UK auctions, or people doing UK coins or even USA coins in the UK. And the only reason Alec's doing this is because he wants to build a bridge across the water for us all to grow on YouTube that are coin related. That's fine. Silver Scorpion, that's fine. That are coin related. So that's the whole idea. Right, now, I know this live is going tangent. I know that, right? Now, what we'll do is I'll try and read the information, because it's still messaging. It doesn't know that I'm doing this, because I didn't want to let it know, because I was like, I want to keep it hanging on. I don't want it to stop. So I'm trying to read how far back, I don't know. How far back do you want me to go, guys? Do you want me to go back to when it got the money? When I felt sorry for it? Because I don't know, I don't understand why I did it in the first place. It keeps on about. Now, I'm going to show you something. Right. That's supposed to be said person. Right. Was originally a porn star. Right. Now, it could have any man that it liked in the world, But it now says that it's lost its job. It's lost its job, right? So this person, I've stopped. I don't really care if I expose it, because even if it sees this, I don't really care, because it can go and whistle Dixie for all I care. Put it that way, because it's getting no more money, because it's took 350 quid off a savings, right, which I'm entitled to ESA. I'm entitled to money for my leg. That money then goes into my pot or my kitty for either phones or said stock for coins. For the channel, right? Because the whole idea is to give something back to you guys. Because without yous, I wouldn't have a channel. I love yous guys to bits. I was on the phone today with Mike Conway, and I said, what do you think about this? And we're talking about, then we come off of that subject and we started on about coins and cryptocurrency and stuff like that. And I turned around and says to Mike, I love yous guys. I love being part of what this is, as in it's a USA family across the pond who I've never actually met yous guys. I am want to do, because don't forget that I should have never let her go, Dawn Lamb. It was the worst mistake I ever made, but she actually spoiled the holiday, and something says, I don't really feel that this is the sort of... she was sort of mixed up, she was sort of muddled up, and she was going through these, but good enough. That's who got me the passport. And I went to Greece, and I've not showed some of you guys the... Exactly 710. Exactly. I feel the same way. If it wasn't for you guys, we wouldn't have we wouldn't have the channel, because it wouldn't be as much as you've grown it. But the only thing is, we've got to keep growing it. If we don't keep growing it, it's not gonna go any forward. It's not going to go any forward. And I just thought this one was quite an interesting one. And I don't really know what to do with it, as in whether to keep it hanging on or whether to block it. But I'm thinking, well, if I can't get the money back and it's not going to refund the money back and it's going to keep wanting the money, I'm just going to keep it hanging on. I'm not going to give it any more money, because I've turned around and said, no. I've turned around and politely said, no, it's not getting any more money. But I want to expose it so that people then don't get into the same trap that I fell into, and then they get scammed as well by the same person. Because they tend to... This is what I was saying to Pat next door. And I says to Pat, why take off of the poor? It's different if she was taking off the rich. I'd have turned and said, go on, you know what I mean? Fucking rich deserve it. Do you know what I mean? Because think about the time where Robin Hood, as in he's done a series on Robin Hood, where it was true or not, Robin Hood and his merry men. But he wasn't robbing the poor. He was robbing the bloody rich as they were going through the forest. Now, any scammer that does rob off the rich, let them do it. But when it's the poor, that's what hurts me more than anything. It's the vulnerable people, and I'm like, that's fucking sick. That's sick. So you're going to take off a poor innocent person, and you're going to drain them of your life savings. This one wants to actually come here, live here, but it's turning around saying that he support it. Hold on a minute. So you want money out of my pocket? And it's sort of my fault showing it pictures and all the rest, a stock and that, and it's like, you can invest and all the rest. It's like blinking lights to it, as in its lies lit up. Oh my god, too much, as in all the stock Oh, I 710, but the thing was is if I could have got money from PayPal straight to you, I would have gave it direct to you instead of putting it through George, because it means then I know you definitely got it. Okay, George is giving you it. George is giving you it because you're probably doing it with him and he's done what he's had to do. George is a great guy, but he's I would say George is lackadaisical. I wouldn't say he doesn't send stuff out. I wouldn't say that because I've had stuff with George. So I just say that George is lackadaisical. He forgets as in things, because I don't know if it's something to do with his age or whether it's just the way he's always been. But I like George and I won't have anything bad said about George. And people should actually give George the chance to say his piece, to defend himself, and then actually go through an email, not air it in public. And this is what I don't like, because it starts to end up because people go through other people and they become piggy in the middle and they've got to decide who they choose. And I'm not into that one either. And the reason why I'm only doing this is because I want to expose this scammer. And I'm like, well, if I can get the money back through the views, as in the money that I've lost, good. Because that then ends up goes back into the kitty. It goes back into the kitty. Goes back into the kitty. And eventually, because that's what I said, 710, the reason why I'm doing eBay or the video, the video I've just done says about eBay or whatever, is because I've had to do it, because I've got no choice, because I'm like, well, shipping, I don't want people chipping in a pot, but I said to them, if they want to put money into the pot, they can put it in the pot, because I won't use it. I have actually got money that's owed, or money, Andrew's still to get a couple of bits that he's owed. There's 30 odd quid from Andrew that's sitting in my PayPal account, and there's £20 from Brissy. It was £6.80 for his shipping, which took ages to go over there. But to make it was something, it was stickers or whatever inside it. What a palaver it was to get it to Australia, because Brissy boy's out in Australia. He wanted the Blue Nose Canadians. He only wanted the blue one, the one that was painted. I says, no, I'm doing it as a 3 set. So Brissy says, I want, you see, the one side and the other side. I says, well, that means then that you need 6 coins. So much are they, Alec? I says, well, what do you feel they're worth? And then I put a figure on them. I says, well, £2, £2. He went, what is that in our money? I went, I don't know. I said, but what he do is, wait until you get the package. As soon as you get the package, then pay me for it. But I sent him some other coins as free gifts. I was like, well, stick that. I was like, well, stick that one in, stick this one in, stick that one in. So he got a mixed sort of bits and pieces, but he was like, oh, I appreciate it. You sending a wee bit extra. I was like, but this, I do that for it's a way for me to entice people. I'm like, is there another way we can do this? It's not to make them feel guilty, it's to entice them to buy more. It's for them to tell a friend, oh, I got a good deal there, or I got a good deal. But it's not just, this channel is not just about me, guys. It's about you as a whole. It's about telling other people, look, there's a specimen. If I've not got, as in more of them, that coin, I'll turn around and say to them, I got them off of such and such. I then tell them, go and see them. So that it ends up, it gives somebody else a piece of business. So we all get a bit of the, it's like, so we all get a bit of the cake, so we get all a bit to eat, because we all deserve it. We all deserve it in our own rights. even you 710, you deserve it because you put the work in. We all put the work in, we put the content in, but sometimes I get to a point I'm like, that content, I don't feel it's right. And I'm like, to me, it's like, I've done it all before. Well, other people like it. Would I do it again? Would I do it a different way? Don't know. So I sort of do different things, but the channel was like originally I built a channel for eBay to bring more clients in for the mobile phones or whatever, and it went south. And then was like, it tells you in the about page or in the about section, Dad got me into this, blah blah blah, buying for auction, blah blah, wouldn't give up the coins, blah blah, and it goes up. But I noticed when I said about eBay, when you look at it on Android, the eBay checkbox isn't showing up in the banner, but you go to the about section, and in the about section, it's in there for the click it. That's what I'm saying. This is going off tangent. I'm trying to figure out how far I got up in the sheet, because it started last night about this investment called. Have you ever heard, guys? Yeah, it's an app of some sort, but it's called World Remit. I've never heard of something like that before. World Remit. This was. Check that. The other picture. That's outside the kitchen window, as in back of 3 this morning. The back of 3. The sun was just coming. It was just coming up. The sun was just coming up. It's like a blue sky. And as you were looking at the back of it, it looked like snow. It looked like snow. That's the next door neighbour's SUV. That's nothing to do with me. This is what I started showing this person, and then I thought, hold on, it's what I know how much I've got in the bank, or how much cash have I got. It's asking all these questions, and I'm like, where is this going? I'm like, where is this going? What way is it going? And I'm like, and I went, I turned around, it's none of your business. It's none of your business. I thought about what my dad used to say to me. He says, son, I want to tell you something. He says, and I looked at him and said, what is it, Dad? I always called him Dad. Or I called him, because everybody used to ask me, why do you call him Papa? Why do you call him Papa? Because it wasn't because I just didn't want people knowing that he was really my father, because a lot of times we were doing business or whatever else, and I didn't want to say, well, that's the boss, or hey, he runs the show, do you know what I mean? I would do what my part, he would tell me to do whatever I had to do, and I would do it, but there was no boss, and we were quite happy that way, because we would run about together or whatever else, and he worked in the garages. He was a spray painter and I've told you all this before, spray painter and panel beater, good at his game, but at the weekends or whatever, or after working time, he wouldn't stop. This is what had made me wonder, Dad, when they drank like through the week, as in all week, as in like after hours, workshop hours, it would get to a point, I think it was the pressure would build on him, and it was like, that car needs done, this car needs done, that one I've just done, there's a problem with it, and it was like his way of offloading, but the way he would offload was to have a drink, and it was causing damage at the same time, but he wasn't realising it, but he was good at his job, fucking talented. My dad works all over the country, as in, I reckon it must have went worldwide, as in some years ago, as in, but he could tell every car he painted is like, there's a drip there or a run there, and he was like, that's my trademark. That's my trademark. That's how I know it. And you see a motor go down the road, and I painted that, and he could tell you how long ago he painted it. Oh, that's still hard. That's still hard, not because it was back then. It was cellulose. Cellulose was an ammo, right? Cellulose. You'd single pack, and you'd two pack. Two pack had isocyanide in it, which was really, as in like you had to wear. You're supposed to wear a mask and all that. Fucking old man didn't wear a mask. I remember the day he came in. Tears was rolling down his eyes. What the fuck are you doing? I need a drink. What do you mean you need a drink? Put the kettle on. Mum's like, what the hell have you done? He must have touched a new chemical of some sort that had been in, and he took an allergy to it, and his eyes were fucking streaming. They were actually bulging at the sockets. But as soon as we seen the paint on his, because the paint it went on his lips and his thing, sort of because he obviously sometimes you put a white mask on, and that was it. He wouldn't put the gear on because he was working in the garage. They didn't have all them kind of sort of stuff. But he didn't know he was doing himself damage in his intestines. He didn't know that. That didn't matter. It won't hurt. One of the ones. But Dad was strong, stubborn old mule. Right, let's see if we can. I'm trying to figure out how far to read this. Because I want he's in it. It's still going to be bullshit. What happened is I'd messaged it some months ago, and I didn't feel it was my cup of tea, and I left it, and I forgot about it. And last week or the week before, I felt low. I was saying to Pat. So all of a sudden I felt low, and I felt the tears were going to start, and I thought, I'm not allowed nothing. Everything's been taken off me, stripped off me, clean off me. Kids, the lot. The only person that's come and helped is Mum. Before about, as in 2015. I'm going back 2015. But this is not 2015. This is now 2020, whatever. But this is where I felt low. And I thought, I'm not allowed to have nothing. So I started going through my messenger just to talk to somebody. And I said hello or whatever. And this is when it started. And it turned around and said that it's supposed to have met this guy, as in Manchester or whatever. And she paid out of pocket or whatever. And she was left stranded. She says, I'm not doing that again. So can you lend me, this is what it started off with, can you lend me the money? This is where it started off with. And I'm like, well, I've never done a bank transfer. So I says, I don't want to take the current money off of me. So can I send you PayPal? And it said, I want you to do it friends and family. And I thought, I don't like the sound of this. So it gave me one email address, and I thought, fuck it, why not, if it's going to come and see me. I thought, the weekend, bulking session, here we go. Yay, dabba, yabba, 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 dabba, do, while Mum's away. Fuck it, right? Get my hole, right? I'll be truthful, get my hole. Right. So it says, if you pay my train for it, I'll come through. But the money get passed to her sister's friend. And then the account had an issue. And the money went through from my end and paid in full. and it came back saying there was a pending issue. They couldn't get the money out the account. So it says, I can't come and see you because I don't have the funds for a train fare. But if you give me 150 and do a bank transfer, I will come as soon as. Well, Friday when I put it through, I thought it's a bit late now. It'll come through on Saturday. I'm sat here waiting, twiddling my fingers, thinking it would turn up. I says, where are you? I'm still in Swindon. So what do you mean you're still in Swindon? Well, my sister and her friend is fucked off and left me in the lurch. I have the property open. I need to leave the keys. But I need to wait for my sister to return. I thought, bullshit. Excuse. Number one. I thought, keep going. Put yourself in it more. Because Mum said, like my ex, give it enough rope and it'll hang itself. I thought, keep going. I'll see through the bullshit. Because I usually do see through the bullshit when it comes. Because it's excuse after excuse after excuse. If somebody's not going to send something. And because it was sent as a gift, I couldn't get the money back. I phoned PayPal. I asked them if it was reversible. They said no. It has to be given up voluntarily as in the money. I said, well, you better go and get your friend and get the money that you need. The money I put in makes it up to £350 because I put £202 in PayPal plus the other 150, so it makes it 350. But it wants to live on my money, not its money, but wants to come and live here. Now my mother is living in this house. I have to then get authority by my mother because my mother is the tenancy is in her name. Although that we've went through this rigmarole already about joint tenancy, which the council went, he's fine to stay here. He is part of the parcel. He doesn't need to go through any paperwork. He doesn't need to sign any paperwork. If you die, he has rights. We have rights to him to either have him stay in your home, which becomes then his home, or when we want it back, if he feels, we'll provide him with accommodation. But I says to my mum, if that ever happens, I will wait until they give me a tenancy. I'll go and look at it, and then before I sign it over, because there's tricks they do, the council, because if you evict yourself, you don't have a leg to stand on. But if you're evicted from the premises, you have rights. They have legal obligations. But I kept telling it, if you come and live here, it can affect my mother's, what she's getting, because she's a pensioner, plus also it affects me. I need to inform them of the changes of circumstances, which means then it's no new paperwork for my benefits. But this thing doesn't realise this. It keeps on spouting its shit and keeps on wanting its own way, which makes me feel that it is a narcissist as well, because it is narcissistic behaviour pattern, which that pattern is going back down the road of my ex, and every time I mention my ex to it, it says it's nothing like my ex, but it's doing the same things that my ex did to me in the relationship of 14 years. So I should know the antics, because I changed as a person to suit a person who I thought loved me and didn't turn out that way. When I come back here, I didn't know who the sorry for my French, guys, I didn't know who the fuck I was, because I changed so much. I didn't recognise myself until the Lord decided he would do his magic, come down from the heaven and lift this big black cloud of Mr. Smith. And when that lift was lifted, that weight from my shoulders, I became the true me that that my ex fell in love with, because it didn't matter how much I tried when in the relationship. She wanted me to change back because she didn't like the person I'd become. Because she wanted it that way, because she felt that people were taking a loan of me, that were taking advantage of me and making a cunt of me, and said I need to harden up. So I did, and she didn't like it. Now, when I tried to change back to the person she fell in love with, I couldn't get them back no matter how hard I tried. And I was getting so frustrated, and I was nearly in tears nowadays, and I was nearly at a nervous breakdown. When she threw me out onto the street and moved her new boyfriend in, I didn't give a fuck where she moved her new boyfriend in, but I only went back to claim my property that belonged to me, and she wouldn't fucking give me it. This is what I ended up with, fucking breach, whatever, blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to get into that, right? Because that's what I told on the new video, that I have nothing to hide. Somebody asks me a question, I will try and answer it, but sometimes I will feel, I don't know, that I'm going to be prejudged for what I say in front of camera, and people go, oh, he's a bad boy. I've made mistakes in my past. I am no angel. Don't see why I should be like Motors. When I put a comment to Motorsports Buggies today, as in him speaking about Deca Heggie or whatever. I don't want to go into Deca Heggie stuff, because it's nothing to do with my channel, right? I was watching it and because I've been trying to do a bit of networking to see if there's anybody else that's maybe interested in coins and stuff like that, where the channel is developed into, which is good, right? So what I was saying is, a man should not be punished of his mistakes from his past, and it going into affecting his present. You should not judge a man of said past. You should take him as you found him. You only want to know him as a person, to get to know him. So you would ask some of the background stuff, but you would then think, right, I need to leave that to the back of my mind, because he's a stranger. When we all start YouTube, we're all strangers to each other. And when we get to know said people we love, or we tend to follow or feel comfortable with, we follow said people. Doesn't mean we're the same as them said people, where they make mistakes along the way, but you should not punish us and judge us the same as them, so you don't tar us with the same brush. Because there is rotten apples in our community, but we sometimes back each other up. Sometimes we will tell you, but we should not have to Harashroom or whatever, we should not have to make you aware. You should be able to test the waters for yourself and feel comfortable us doing such thing by yourself. But we will warn you of people we do know, but we won't turn around and say, right, you should not deal with them people. You need to find them out for yourself. It's up to you whether you deal with them or whether you don't. We just make you aware, and that's it. End story. Where you take that warning, that's up to you. But we don't bash said channels because they are talented people in many ways. Because we all have our unique style and our unique way of doing things. And I know this is going off topic, but I am trying to figure out where I start from and how far we go with this. Because I showed it because I turned around and says, can you explain? Because I found what it is this person uses Michelle Natasha as in this name. Her name is not really Michelle Natasha, or well, I don't think so. The reason why I don't think so is because it used the name Miss L. Bissell, which doesn't tally up to Michelle Natasha. I don't know where it stays in Swindon, but I don't think it'll give its said address out. But I would like to make aware that it is running about Facebook. So if you are a friend or a YouTuber and you friend request me, please be careful of said person because it might latch on use. And I don't really want it affecting and you thinking that it's something to do with me because it is not. It's not related to me in any way. It wants to be my girlfriend, but I don't think it'll happen because I don't like the way it's acting. And if I don't feel comfortable with a person, I don't like to say fuck off or pack your bags and pee off or fuck off and push them aside. I feel that's been ignorant. So I thought, let's do a little live on said topic. But I don't know how long we will make it last for. Because when it gets boring as fuck, because people get bored of the same thing fucking getting said over and over and over and over again, and they think, oh fucking, do we have to listen to this shit? Because Alec, as you well know, Alec does one video and then moves on to the next thing. But sometimes there's supposed to be other parts to the video because it's not finished. But instead of me finishing the video, I think, fuck it. I'll move on to the next topic or the next subject. And that's what I summon. It's not finished, but it doesn't mean that it's not finished and it won't go back to it. As we see, there is said 2 packets full of stuff for said wheel, but it's getting the time right and the day because I want everybody to have an input their say, because that was why the video was put out, but nobody seemed to comment and say, look, Alec, we think Tuesday's a good day or Friday's a good day or Thursday's a good day, and we think this time may be suitable for doing said wheel, because I want basically UK and the USA and whoever else supports the channel to be part of it. Because I thought, well, what if we made minimum prizes so you win something off the board and we do a first prize. I was thinking first, second and third prize, and then I thought, no, why don't we just do one that said first prize and then we take as in the names or the numbers off the board, and the last man standing wins the first prize, which could be a slab or a copper round, or it could even be a generic silver 1 ounce, because I decided, well, fuck it, if everybody puts into the pot and that fixes the shipping thing out, then it means then that we could do budget wise about $35, $40. And I thought, means then they can get little prizes. Because the little prizes, I thought, well, we could use, I quite hooked on classics. I thought we can use, because I've got rolls and rolls of pennies, and they're coming out my ears. That's what Andrew Cooper laughs and says, Alex got more rolls than Greg's. Greg's is the bakers over here, right? But I don't know how nationwide they are. Greg's the bakers. I laugh at it. But Andrew's like, these 69 are better. Are you going to open them? Yes, I'm going to open them. But there needs to be at least 50 people involved in it for me to open the roll and get rid of the whole lot, because that's the whole idea. Because I'm not going to open the roll and part of it's left. I'd rather, if I open the roll or whatever, I don't want any coins left in the roll, so they're not shuggling about and all over the show, because I just don't have the room. I don't have the room. I've realised that I've got an addiction to phones and also an addiction to coins, but some people are not into USA coins. I hooked on, we're doing the reason why the title says playing with the scammers, because the scammer is on said tablet and the said scammer is on Facebook. But when you do a video chat, it will not answer the phone, so we cannot get it to. Hi, Pickerick, long time no see, pal. Aye. So I thought, well, let's expose it. Okay, I've lost 350, which was it's my doings. It's my doings. The lost the £350 because I shouldn't have paid it in my pocket, right? But it said about train fare, and the reason why I gave it money is it's a nice looking thing, right? Now it might not be as gorgeous as the photos it's sent or the videos it's sent, right? But I thought, well, every weekend I do the same thing. It gets boring. I sit indoors, twiddling my thumbs, maybe going on a live, doing Facebook, doing YouTube, whatever else. If a panel comes up, go on a panel. I thought, do something different this weekend. I'll get my hole. But no joy, because it didn't show up. But it already has £350 that it's taken, and it doesn't want to give it back. But it wants now more money. And I went like that. So I went, hold on. I actually took, guys, this is God's honest truth. I was in Mum's room, right? And I went like that with the blinds, right? So I get the peephole like that, right? So I get the peephole like that. Do you know what I did? I took a picture of the trees and I says, do you want me to pick it off the tree, the bush? It came back, turned and says, you want something? It turned it back in me, and I went, no, I'll pick the bush and I'll mail the bush to you. Totally. I just thought about it. I was like, hold on a minute. This is asking for money. I'm not going to give it any more money. And I thought, hold on a minute. And I was like, where am I going to pick this money from? And I'm like, well, this is... So I'm going to subsidise a new life for her. She's going to live here, free gratis, on me. She's going to take it off of my benefit money. So it means then I have to give her that money. No, hold on a minute. You use your own money. You use your own money in this relationship. You have to stand. I've told her, you have to stand on your own 2 feet. I've stood on my own 2 feet since I was, 9-year-old. I was giving my dad a hand with cars out in the street, as in doing mechanics or whatever else. Or I saw him and I was like, Dad, what you doing? Sitting there watching like that. And he's like, fuck off, go and play with the buses or whatever. And I used to get battered by David Seanan. Every time David Seanan came out the door. Exactly. I hate scammers and all. You're not the only one. But Hooked on Classics. See if the scammer was robbing off the... I've said this before you come in here, right? You know how Robin Hood and his merry men, right? Now, they were robbing off the rich. Now, if that scammer was robbing off the rich, I'd turn and say, go ahead, go on away you go. Fucking knock yourself out. But the thing is, the reason why I'm doing this and actually devoting my time to this one is because it's robbing off a poor invalid man, which is vulnerable. But it keeps on about the money, and it keeps saying that it won't come, although that it's got the money for a single train fare, it's still wanting more money to support itself, but it's wanting money from me. But I want to put this out there because I don't want anybody else to fall in the same trap. Because some people will like, fucking that's a scam, as not a scammer, and they go, press the button, and then we put spam, fucking spam, or they'll go block. But if you're lonely and you're looking for somebody, right, you'll try everything. You won't go for somebody that's under the age of 16, right? I'm not going to get into all the paedophile stuff and all that, Karen. I see it on Facebook. All these grooming hunters or whatever, they use a decoy and they put the guy on false pretenses, but it tells them, it keeps saying on the chat or whatever, it's a 13-year-old, even though it's kidding on as a 13-year-old, but it's doing that to hunt the paedophiles out, which fair game to them, right? But this is talking about somebody that's in 30s, right? 30 odd, right? So it should know right from wrong. But it seems to be that it wants its own way, right? But it's using narcissistic behaviour. The only reason I know about all this behaviour is because I was in a relationship 14 years, thought the person loved me. Mum met her very early stages and went, I like her to a sense, but there's something about her that I don't like, but wasn't going to tell me no, not go with her, because Mum didn't want to break my heart. I fucking took Hazel under the wing when she had marriage breakdown, right? Or thought it was a marriage breakdown. She then got divorced to this guy, had 2 boys to him, kept the 2 boys, let him see the 2 boys, and eventually on time, I don't want to get into the full story of, but I'm trying to get the backlash, right, of how I know this behaviour. Mum says I could never put my finger on it, but she could never know why she couldn't put her finger on it. And then one day in particular, she was down at Warwick where we were staying. She went, so about you? Fucking Hazel went totally quiet. And Mum says, last time we were up here, Mum says, I hope you don't get a house up here, and kick him out. She worked away at getting me out the family home so that I couldn't see the kids or whatever else. And she moved her boyfriend in the fucking next day. She was seeing them behind my back, going into Glasgow. I knew there was something going on, but I couldn't put my finger on it. But instead of causing an argument in our home, in our family home, I left it alone. but it used my oldest child in a certain way, which I should have been listening to my oldest girl, because she was trying to tell her father in roundabout fashion that mummy was playing away, and knew she was playing away, because obviously she'd been speaking to the girls and telling them, don't tell daddy. And something happened to get me removed out the property so she could move her new boyfriend in the following day. So this is how I know about this behaviour, narcissistic behaviour, and this is the way it's acting, because it's called reverse psychology. They use reverse psychology, scammers, because they make you feel that they love you, and they'll do everything in their power to get your cash out you so that they can get their own way. But in the process of them doing that, they bleed you dry and take everything you've got, your savings, your home, whatever they can. So this is why I'm like, no, you're not getting any money, but it keeps, I want the money. So I did a sketch. Do you all remember the Tune the Fat sketch? Right. Now in Tune the Fat sketch, there's two guys that are made out to be, I don't know, henchmen. And they're told to go and get the money. And the two guys go up to the door, and the one chap's at the door, and he says, give me the money. Give me the money. Or he goes, give me the money. And he went, it's the way you're saying it. The other one, right. But they go back to the guy, wherever they've cheeky, and Joe goes, give me the money. Like that, right? Now it's funny, right? So I decide, you've just turned around and says, I want the money. Ha ha ha. Hold on. If I keep it long enough, because this is the trick, if you keep a scammer long enough, it won't scam anybody else. So if you have it in your clutches, don't let it go, because it'll move on to the next victim. But if you keep it long enough and I'm going to give you the money, don't know how I'm going to get it to you, but you don't give them it, you keep on. I'm going to give you it, I'm going to send you it, I'm trying to send you it, and keep it going. But this thing, Disney it wants the money for the train fare, but it wants to move into the fucking family home. And I'm like, hold on, you're going to move into the family home, so what are you going to... So if it gets its way in here, how the fuck are we going to get it back out? That's what I'm thinking. Hold on a minute here, how the fuck am I going to move? And then I'm thinking, hold on a minute. And then she turns around and says, I'll make your mum love me. How are you going to make my mum love you when you've just taken, because I actually phoned my mum or text my mum. Mum says, I hope you haven't done it again, what you've done before. And I went, yes. She went, oh, Alec. She went, no, she turned around and says, oh, Alec. Oh, no. She went, no, I don't. I went, well, it's done now. It's too late. Mum's like, it's a scammer. She went, we've went through the same rigmarole before, as in early on, before I even became a YouTuber. Do you know what I mean? So it's like your name's on a list and you're like, is my name on that list? Hi, angels. My name's on a list and it's going to keep... So there's going to be more people coming, and I'm like, how long is this going to go on for? Because I've actually... She doesn't know yet. I've actually met somebody else online that feels attracted to me, but she's originally from
New jersey, but it's not asked for a penny yet. And it's actually living in Manchester. But we're not on about the one from Manchester. We're on about the one that is Michelle Natasha. And I don't really care if she's watching this, to be honest. Michelle Natasha, if you're watching, you're famous. You're named and shamed on YouTube. And it doesn't matter how many times you change your name, somebody will find you. And when they find you, I hope they do the exact same as what I've did. They tell everybody about you, saying, please beware of this person, because it's not nice. It's actually not nice scamming, as in vulnerable people, as in poor paupers. If you want to, put it this way, Michelle Natasha, if you want to scam somebody, go and scam the rich, which they well deserve to get money taken off them, and show your boobies to them, because that's all you can do is flaunt your boobies, as in that's what I bet. It's like, I'm not disrespecting a beggar, right, guys? Don't start commenting after this video saying, oh, fucking hold on a minute, Alec, you're taking a piss out of beggars. I've got nothing against beggars in the street, right? But that's exactly what it's doing. It's using its body, its boobies. Look at my knockers, guys, to get money off of people, as in false pretenses, right? False pretenses, right? It's better fucking begging. It would be better begging in the street. I turn around and says, well, why don't you enroll as a lap dancer? A lap dancer does her stuff, goes onto the stage, does the pole or whatever. She doesn't take her clothes off. She only reveals what she has to reveal, right? She doesn't give them false sex, right? Nothing against lap dancers, right? I get no disrespect to lap dancers and what they do. Quite entertaining, actually, right? Fucking talent in its own way, right? And it gets money. Well, why doesn't she do the same? If she's so good, if she looks so good, do lap dancing or whatever. Fucking go and enroll yourself in it. Find out what it takes, no less, to go enroll in that and earn some fucking cash instead of scamming fucking people. That's the bit that gets me. It sticks. As Angels just said, I dislike scammers. There's the scum of the earth. Except, of course, they're the scum of the earth. Because, put it this way, guys, right? I'm going to, if I'll tell you what to do. Go and watch. See, instead of watching this live stream and me talking shite, because I'm not going to even get into what's actually on the tablet, right? Go and watch the last video I did. And the reason why I'm using this is because Angel just said something that she's right, right? When I sell you a product and you're not happy with that product and what I've sold you, all I ask you to do is you send it back, right, the way that you got the product, as in the condition that you were sold it in, you send it back. The only money you will lose on it, if you have bought it from me, is the money that you send back in the postage. I will give you a full refund, as in what you originally paid in postage, and also what you paid for the cost of the product. That's what I do. If I have an unhappy customer, I will work with that customer until I get a happy medium, until I'm happy and the customer's happy, because that bad review can either make or break my hobby, and I don't want to go down that route. I know there's a lot of dishonest people out there which will try it on, but I tend to see through them. Angels, at the end of the day, okay, they need to send the goods back, because at the end of the day, I still need to get the goods back so that I can then resell it again, right? But I don't, when I do these videos or the live streams, I don't ask you guys for a penny. Yous watch the videos, yous enjoy the videos, yous watch the view, yous view it, and that helps me too. I don't ask you for a penny. If yous want to donate, to the channel, that's up to yous. That's up to yous guys. I'm not saying yous have to do it. That's if yous want to. Because I'm thinking about this pot, because we want to do the wheel, but I don't want anybody, that's what I keep saying, I don't want anybody sectioned out. I don't want people feeling like what I did. And didn't disrespect Joe, I just said, look, this is what happened, it was Red that stood up for me and said, why, how come I can't join? And eventually, that's exactly, they opened the door for the other avenue. This is what came about. But the whole channel was never to set up about coins. I know I'm still a newbie. I'm still learning. I'm still softly approaching coins. And I'm like, I like Clad, and I like this, and I like that. And it's stuff that I like. Look at the view and the thing. It's like going to the Tuesday auction. I sit there and I go, I quite like that piece. Right. Let's have a figure in mind for it. Okay. It's well presented. Looks well. It's clean, it's tidy, because that's what Dad used to do. He used to sit at night time, go on eBay, and he'd be like, it was like a dog sniffing for a bone. Where's all the good stuff? Where's all the good stuff? And he's in there telling me, I used to come through here at night time, and sometimes fucking shitting me, frightening me. I said, "Are you alright, Dad? What are you looking at?" "Nothing really." "What are you buying it?" We've done a lot of research because we read descriptions and all the rest. But he wasn't into coins and mobile phones at that time. We were into model cars and stuff like that, and Scaletric took a big. Scaletric years ago took a dive. It went downhill. Dad went into Mardave Spares or whatever they call sell Mardave Spares. There was a company called Mardave Spares, but he sort of developed Mardave. So he developed the name. He developed the name, and he was buying bits and pieces for RC race cars. That died off, or started dying off. Dad knew it was dying off. Went into Scaletric, done a bit of phones. He dabbled in it. He was testing motors, but he was quite good in what he did. But he used to search through eBay for all the bargains and all the rest, and see job lots and whatever else, and he'd sit there and buy it and then go. But that's his ethics. I use them, the condition, the quality, the product itself, and then when I realised, right, that's worth buying. Right, what do I want to spend? Right, I'm only going to go to, so I'd maybe 3 bids or something like that. I usually go to about 3 bids, and then I'm like, out, snuff. It's not what I want to pay. It could be worth more than what I bid for it. It goes, and I'm like, and sometimes you'll see me go in the chat, and you'll see me saying bye bye. That's not me saying bye bye. I'm going off the live. It's me saying bye bye coin. Let's move on to the next one. I'm waiting for the next one coming up for the next lot. So I'm waiting to see what's there, because I'm like, well, there's 30 lots coming up. There might be stuff that is in partly down the line, but I don't look on spreadsheets. I want to physically view it with my eyes, spies, to see the quality of the merchandise. Because I like buys nothing but the best product. But that's not saying that, I'm not saying that in the auctions they sell rubbish. I'm not saying that. I didn't say that. So don't put words into my mouth that weren't there. Because there's old, there's new, and there's modern. So you get 3 different setups. Some people go for the generic silvers because they're melters or whatever. There's other ones that are metal detectors. There's Oz Art, which he does. Oz needs Oz might need a little shout out, so I'll do it. Ozza, if you're listening, you are awesome person, and your designs are fantastic. As in, I'm going to say it, I don't give a puck. Not a fuck. I don't give a puck. Oz is in the moment doing tea coasters, and he's also doing I don't know where Joe's supplying them with the pucks, but Oz is putting on different decals or graphics onto the pucks, and they say Joe Durbin auction with the bell on the top. I looked at the other day and went, fucking out of this world. I was like, I couldn't do all of that. And I'm like, oh, is that something else? He's like, look at the day, and he's like, Ian, it's an actual hockey puck, and that's why I said, what a puck, as in it's a decal, it's merchandise, but a lot of the times Joe puts them in like a giveaway or whatever, and there's not yet on order as an actual high drive shafts, Drew. They're not on order at the moment, but you can win one. So basically it says Joe Durbin, but it's got the bell that he makes, because I have got one, but I just don't have one here at the moment because I am actually playing with, I know it says, the title says playing with a scammer. The thing is, I don't have the scammer on a mobile phone, so we can't hear the conversation. The scammer is on the other end of the tablet, and it's sitting waiting at the moment as we speak. I have heard it ding a few times, but because I'm on the live, I'm ignoring what it's saying at the moment because I need to either concentrate on this or concentrate on the live. And the reason why I'm concentrating on live, guys, is because you guys are coming in over there, the comments, which I am only seeing. I'm not seeing the ones that's on the YouTube. So if I'm missing anybody, I'm sorry that I'm missing yous because I don't have that one up. I only have the StreamYards one up because every time I try and bring to them over, I end up have a technical glitch. And in June, this Chromebook is either needing to go in to get redone up as in a newer model, or it needs to be sold or traded in to get a new model. But I'm actually thinking of buying possibly a Windows and putting Chrome on it because I've been led to believe that you can put Chrome on top of Windows, and I need more storage because my storage is full on Gmail. And to buy more storage, which is I think £1, it's £1.50. The minimum one is £1.50 per month, or you can buy an annual yearly thing, and I think it's like less than £20 or something like that. But I'm like, not buying it, no, because I used to watch somebody which Ian used to be part of, and I seen what they done with old Skyboxes about external hard drive. So I'm thinking of maybe getting a 500 gigabyte or something and putting all the YouTube videos on it from past to present, because the Gmail's like, it's full, and it's like, it's full, can't put no more on. But I'm sort of working with either SD card or as in what storage I've got, and deleting either JPEGs, but I'm deleting JPEGs that I've never even showed before. No, if you don't like the singing was just for fun, it was for kicks. I like to sing. YouTube don't allow background music, or it allows you free music that they let you use but it's their terms and conditions on it, as in the music. And if you use an artist's one and they hear it, there can be copyright claims on it. Because I've already had a copyright claim on one. So it says, if I become monetized, which I am not monetized yet. I'm not even there yet. So I'm not even, I kept wanting to try and get a monetization stage. They deactivated my thing or whatever. I'm not going to get into all that, carry on, the rigmarole of what happened and what they did. And I can't seem to find what I've done to reactivate it or whatever else. I'm not bothered about monetization because I put on it, ban me all you like, YouTube. I don't give two fucks. Because I thought, if I can't be monetized, because my whole channel, the reason why I do coins is because one of these slabs, one coin alone could be worth between $30 up to $125 or more, depending on year, grade, and which company did it. Because this one here is International Numismatics Bureau. It's not well known. But when you go up to Annex or PCGS, they're well known. Their prices go up and they appreciate over years. But it tells you on the slab, MS such and such, there is people out there that in auctions that can grade coins and can tell you what they think, but that's only their opinion on it. And they tell you, take it to a specialist. I've graded this coin, but if you're unhappy with the grade that they've gave it, you can send the coin back. Because Lemonhead Penny, which I buy a lot of stuff off of Lemonhead Penny, I'll tell you that I'm self. And the reason why I give Lemonhead Penny a shout out, because I trust who I deal with. And maybe you don't trust them, it's your judgment. I do. I rate the guy. I've never had a problem with the guy, as in the only thing that I've had problems is communication errors. But that can be resolved quite easily, the communication errors. And Lemonhead Penny does watch the lives. He does look at the videos. And I'm not saying anything derogatory about Lemonhead, which is Travis Martin, is his real name. Because I don't usually use real names. Unless your channel is named that name, I will use that name. If you tell me not to put out your real name, I won't put out your real name. Because that is basically what the Americans were crying about, doxing, putting out somebody's name and address. There is what you call data protection laws in England and other countries, and there is what you call over in the United Kingdom defamation of character. I'm not defamating the character of Lemonhead Penny. I'm telling you about the guy because I like the guy. I like his auctions, and I've never had a problem with any of the stuff. There's a box that I've not even opened because I'm like Ian, I do not have the space at the moment, and I'm doing a big decluttering. I'm trying to do phones, whatever else. Hi Skywatch, I haven't seen you for quite some time. I know you've been health problems and stuff. Nice to see you. It seems like everybody wants to see what we're talking about. We're playing with a scammer. The only thing is, the last one that Cajun Hunter did was over the phone. We cannot speak to this one because it won't let me. As soon as I do a video call or a video chat, it won't let it, because it knows what it's done, it knows what it's up to, but it doesn't want us to catch on. I've caught on to what it's doing, and I'm putting it out here. That's a shame. Hugs and God bless you, Alexander. I know I've always been a friend of you, Skywatcher, and you've always commented and all that. I've watched some of your videos as well, but I haven't been catching up recently because I'm trying to do the channel, trying to grow the channel, trying to do other things, doing other things on the side or in behind the scenes, because I was like, well, these videos are going to go too long. Nobody's going to watch them, or they might not enjoy the content. And then I thought, well, because the whole reason that if you watch me on Facebook, I've been doing some lives on Facebook. The last one I done, I said, I'm going to come off online because I had a little problem a couple of days ago. Somebody was trying, I thought it was my imagination, and I'm still thinking, was it my imagination or was it happening? The house that I'm living in with my mother, because my mother's on holiday, somebody was trying to gain access to the property. The reason why I was going to leave the online the lot of use for a bit was because I felt as if I caused it because of being in the public domain, in the public limelight. And I thought maybe I brought it on myself, the attack, as in them trying to gain access. But I was at the landing, I was on the landing doing mobile phones, testing them out before putting them on eBay, because I usually test stuff before I pass it and put it on eBay before listing it. I was sitting in the hall doing what I had to do, and I heard the doors trying to get opened. Now the door was locked from the inside, on the inside, so you can't get it by the handle. It's a double glazing door, a moulded door. There's 3 latches or 3 bolts that go through it. There's a bolt as in further up the door, there's one further down, and there's a bottom one, and plus the middle. Alright, now I've got no people watching. Fuck. There was 6 watching these, probably fucked off, because it's went on and on and on and on and on, no, doing the scammer thing, right? But the reason, this is what I'm trying to explain, what happened at the start of the weekend was they tried to gain access to the property. And because the amount of stuff that I've got or stock, I was frightened that maybe that would happen again. So I'm going to talk to Mum when she comes back and get her approval. Andrew Cooper, who is a mod for the channel. Andrew, if you're about, thank you for being a mod. Thank you for giving me your time. And thank you for being a friend as well. Because he became from a client to a good friend of mine's. The same as Dale, as in Cornwall came, and the same as Dean. Right. But Andrew Goody's his heart, we talk on Messenger. Says, what's the matter? So I explained. And he turned around and said, Amazon have a deal going at the moment. They're down for £99 to 65 quid. They're 2 wireless CCTV cameras, but to put them up, I need to go and speak to Mother before I do it, to get her approval. I want her input as well, for her to turn around and say yes or no, because she sometimes sunbathes in the garden, and sometimes will take her top off to bathe in the sun. So I only want them for the night time when we're in our bed, because this happened at 1:30 in the morning. And luckily, I was indoors, and when I started shouting dogs abuse at the top of my voice, they realised somebody was in the property. But no, Alec wanted to come out of the property with a walking stick, which is metal, which is not, it's only metal around it, wanted to club them over the head. But then when was talking to the neighbour, because Pat heard the commotion and the dog came out, as in her little dog, Jack Russell, he went to let it out for a pee. And she heard the commotion and she said, well, what's the matter? So I started to talking. And I said to her, what if they had have had a knife? I would have fucking bottled it. Wouldn't I have? Trying to tell me if I was going to attack them. But they ran off, as in because I was shouting at the top of my voice. But I didn't know this, that he disappeared. And Pat says, they might be there. I hear rustling in the bushes. So we started shining torches and all the rest, checking. And then I decided, I'm fucking make police noises. I says to them, if you've got 10 seconds to get out the bushes, if you're in there, I'm going to call the police. And then started going, wee wah, wee wah, wee wah, wee wah, wee wah, wee wah. The dog doesn't get out. She's got a lock on the gate, so she takes it for a walk, but it's sometimes it behaves for her, but it's it'll snap. And if it doesn't know you and you go to put your hand down, it might attack you. It might like you. It might let you have a pet of it, but it's not. I wouldn't say it's friendly to a certain degree, but not. So I wouldn't trust it. And she's the same with it, but she knows how to handle it. So I left it alone. And it was because Skywatcher saying, oh, of course, I love any dog and cat. Fucking cat mad. But mum sadly lost her pussy and decided that she wasn't having any more pets because it meant then she had to look after it. And when she went on holiday, she couldn't take it with her. So Cheeky used to be looked after by me. When I come back here, I used to look after the cat while Mum was away because the cat would come to me. But Cheeky wouldn't be like what Mum could do with her because it was Mum's baby. If Mum went out the back, I know you have. I've seen them. And they're beautiful cats too. When Mum went out the back, Cheeky would sometimes go out the back. Mum would be on the top of the sun lounger and Cheeky would be underneath and sat there like that and sit there, maybe their legs up or whatever, sitting there licking, and then eventually she'd be basking in the sun. And sometimes she got up the path, go and lay in you see her basking in the sun, you see the old tail going like that, but she would keep one eye open because if something come along she didn't like, she wouldn't attack stuff unless it annoyed her, or if she didn't like it, then she'd have a go at it. But not necessarily, because when she got to a certain age, she decided, I don't want to fucking bother anymore. She's just down with the tail wagging, and she'd hear the just telling them, fuck off, don't come in here, I don't want yous in here. She would let in who she liked, but if she didn't like the cat, she would tell it. But when she disappeared, but she wouldn't go very far around it. But this is about a scammer, but I haven't shown the details of the scammer or what it's saying because I've been not bothered on it. So it fucking thinks it's right. Now, I turned around and asked this. Hold on. No, it's not going to let me. I said to it, can you explain this? And can you explain this? Because I found it with Natasha Nice. Now, I found out that Natasha Nice and her were comrades at one time, but they took a dislike to each other and were at fucking loggerheads. Now I had them the other night taking photographs between the phone and the tablet, between the two of them, and they were fucking going at each other, as in who was better than who. And Natasha Nice says, you don't want that, because it stole the other one's boyfriend. And the other one thinks that it also took his money. Because she's done it. She told me, don't. But Natasha Nice has got a fan-only club, but it's not on I don't think it's on YouTube. It's on Facebook. Because I started going on Facebook. Because it's like, right, let's go on these groups now and see what these groups are about. Maybe I'll find something. Maybe I'll make myself happy. Maybe eventually I'll find what would make me happy. I thought, because I actually enjoy. This is why I decided not to do what I was going to do. What I said, because I didn't think about it at the time. I didn't realise what I was saying. It wasn't until later on that I realised, hold on a minute, I actually enjoy making videos for you guys. I actually like making content for you guys. Because when you are enjoying it, and you put a thumbs, as I said in the last video, when you put a thumbs up, guys, that gives me more drive. And you put in the comments and saying that G's me on. That's what I liked it. So it means then it's like, do more. So I'm like, okay, I'll give you more. But it's trying to figure out what content you would like, what you would enjoy. And I'm thinking, content that's boring. I've done that one, done that in the past, and that's not nothing. And then people turn around and say, well, why don't you do vlogs? And why don't you do Hear it? It's coming up with bypass. And the honk the horn, I think, I got a funny feeling that's a fire engine. Now, where the hell that's going, who knows? But there'll be a squad car, there'll be a police car behind that. No, because it's escorting, it'll be following it to wherever that is. You hear it going up. It's going up the thing. That's a fire engine. It's definitely a fire engine, because it dinged its horn. I heard it hoot, hoot, hoot. That was definitely not. But there was a police car following, because the actual college for the I didn't know. It's through Jackton. There's a police college, and they used this bypass. The bypass was, there's two housing estates. There's Troon Avenue. I don't care who hears this. Fuck it. Between Troon Avenue and Sandpiper, there used to be a big field, massive. We used to play rounders, football, whatever, in the field. Fucking hate time. They decided that the road they were going down, the Crosshouse bypass or the Crosshouse road, there was accidents at the bottom of the loop. So they decided to get permission, and they built a fucking ditch. There's a massive ditch that goes down two sides. They put a fence on. There's a fence on this side and there's a fence on that side. But you can jump them if you so prefer. But you're playing with life and death, because you have, in the ditch, they built a road. So they call it the Green Hills Road, and it's called the Green Hills Bypass. That was to stop the accidents as in the Crosshouse, because before, as you're going down the road, there's the Crosshouse School on the left-hand side, and there's a bridge for the wains to go across to Mallard. What I need to do is, I need to take you out and do either live on tablet or whatever, do a live and let you see some of the scenery, because I did get a beautiful one the other night, which I showed her what I fucking shouldn't have, as in of a beautiful sunset or coming up from The skies. Hold on, I get it, guys, because this thing's year long, as in it's kept on and on and on and on, and then it's you invest and all the rest and showing it pictures, which I shouldn't have done. I shouldn't have done showing it pictures. I'm trying to get it. Chronically the far down the list. This thing's year long. The commentaries, as in, because it's going back and forward, back and forward, back and forward, back and forward, back and forward. That shows the one that I wrote on a minute, if I can find it, because I done it this morning. Then I realised, what am I doing with a scammer? But then I'm actually holding it to ransom at the moment, and it's not doing damage anywhere else. Look at that, guys. That's out of your front window. I know it's a bit dark, but that's because it's blue sky. But as you're looking at that scenery, it looks like snow where the white was. And I thought, that's beautiful, that. And all of a sudden, I had these emotional tears. Do you know why? Because I thought of my old man. Because he was a roamer all his life. He couldn't settle in garages when he worked in garages. He couldn't settle in them. So every now and again, every sort of 6 months or whatever, he'd go into a different garage. But he was well. Fuck that, I don't want that. He was well liked. He was well liked in the industry, right? But I was thinking of Dad as free as a bird because he was a free spirit. And so that's when I thought about him. And I was like, you can go, if you need to go, drive shaft, I'm not going to keep you. See, thanks for coming in. So I was thinking of him this morning, the early doors this morning, and then I thought, I need to go fucking sleep. I need a couple of hours. And I thought, I need to tidy Mum's room up or whatever else. So I decided I'm not going into my own bed. I'm going to go in because she had the fleece on, and I thought, it's a bit cold. So I'm just going to cuddle in there a bit. Anyway, if you got to go, Sky, it's nice to see you in Skywatcher. If you're back on YouTube, because there's a lot of ones that have passed away, like Amy, which was Rupert Girl, Lincoln Central, Stern past Stern, Silver Skyman or whatever, the two different names. Stern, we call him Stern, young boy. He's gone out the thing with the coin community. So there's been a lot, and then Captain Jet, there's been a lot of deaths recently as well as in certain other communities. And I'm like, fucking how many is fucking D? And then when I'm the one for death, I'm like, I get all emotional, guys. I don't like death. So I don't like talking about death. I don't like. I'll say my piece or whatever, and I don't feel that there's words that you can bring them back. So there's nothing you could actually say, as in, all you can say is, I'm sorry to hear that, and that's it, end of story. She's 4 minutes. She's fucking still. It's still flat. It's still. You can actually see it. It's still actually the thing. You can see the thing vibrating, or where the camera is, and it's still. You can see it's still pulsing. So it's still there. It's still on the end of the line. That's where I had them. The two of them, but I had them two of them barning between each other. I can show all the evidence. If I ever bring something to here because I can't resolve it with a person, and you see me airing it, it's not because I'm airing my dirty linen. I just feel that I haven't got the resolvement that I've got, and I'm showing the journey. I made this channel that I'm showing you the journey on YouTube, but this is one that's on Facebook. But I'm making you aware because some of you have been becoming acquaintances or aware acquaintances and starting to become friends on my Facebook. And because you are friends on my Facebook, I don't want anybody else falling into the same trap and turning and saying, well, she obviously knows him, so I'll associate myself with that person and get caught up in the rigmarole. So I'm letting you know, guys, that Michelle Natasha, if she friend requests she or whatever else, block her, because it's a scam. It's a scammer. She says she's not a scammer, and she'll try and make you believe that she's not a scammer. Basically, she's looking for somebody for love, but she wants you to support her financially. But she wants to take control of whatever you're doing. So it's actually the way it operates is a narcissist. This find the word hard to get out. A narcissistic person or narcissistic behaviour, and I've seen all this before, as in that I went 14 years in a relationship, and the relationship at the start was fine, and eventually it changed, and this is why I'm not, it's not my cup of tea, but I'm thinking, well, if I hold you as long as I possibly can, it won't scam somebody else. But I'm trying to figure out where we take the running commentary from, because some of it is when I get a bit on the flirty side, because I wanted to bang it at the weekend and make it into a regular occurrence, but it wanted money for train fare, which I have never asked. I've never ever in my life asked somebody I was going to either meet or see to be more than a friend, asked them for train fare. I thought that came out of your own pocket because you wanted to go and see said person. But I'm starting to wonder if this is a new generation thing in the dating society. And I've heard people tell me, don't give any money. They tell you 4 steps when you go through the dating sites or whatever else. They say, these are the 4 steps you adhere to. And they tell you for your own information purposes. Do not give money out, blah, blah, blah. Meet in a public place, blah, blah, blah. So I'm thinking, is this a new generation bloody thing coming that we don't know about? Because we're old school. We don't. A lot of you guys don't do dating online. Some of you do dating as in courting when you go out to pubs, clubs, or whatever. Some of you don't do that because some of you are a bit scared or frightened, or not frightened of the rejection, but the slap in the dish, thinking that somebody's single and they're not, because you like the said look of said person, which everybody tries. Every man does. Even woman sometimes. I'll ask a guy out. Sometimes it happens. Not all the time. But usually it's guys as woman out. It's always been that way. Times have changed. Whatever else. Right. But what I do is I go online and I find a said person that I feel attracted to, and I try and read between the lines, but sometimes I get the signals mixed up. And sometimes I fuck up. I'll be blunt about it. I fuck up from time to time. I've seen me kick myself and thought I should have jumped at the chance of that, or I've crossed the line and read too much into it because he said disabilities. But I'm not going to use them as an excuse because they don't. You turn around and say, "Oh, hold on a minute," as in borderline autistic spectrum disorder. Nah, it's not really an illness, and so you're going to use it as an excuse. I never used my disabilities or whatever. It's an excuse, right? I'm the way I am. I've been like that all my life, and if you don't like me, up yours. There's the door. Shut the way. Make sure it doesn't hit you in the fucking face. There you go. Right. So I'm the way I am, and I go in line to do said dating. And sometimes I meet unsavoury characters on the way. Now, because I take people at, I don't care if there's no watchers, I'd take people at face value. And I treat them like everybody else does. And sometimes I fucking make up mistakes and I slip up. And there's been times where I've lost people because I went pushed them away, not realising that there was more than friendship there. So this one came, well, I knew about her for 7 months and didn't bother with her. And because I felt low, I just wanted to go and curl up and fucking cry. As in last week or the week before. So I thought, fuck it, I'll go through my list of people on Messenger, female or male. I'm not into male, as in I've got nothing against gays, I've got nothing against bisexuals, whatever gender you are, but I'm not into, my preference is women or a woman, because I'm a one woman's man, always have been. And usually when I either get the attention, I give it the attention back, or if I see something that I fancy, I will jump at the opportunity. I then decided to say hello, and the conversation started. But I stupidly gave the 300 or 200 at first. Then there was an issue with the PayPal that the money was put into. She couldn't get the money, and the relationship or the coming to meet me was non-oblivious. I then thought, well, if you want to come see me, okay, this is only one time only, but now it keeps on about it needs more money as train fare, but now it's using it as living expenses, as in to come and live with me, because if it comes here, it doesn't want to go home, because it says, I want you and I love you. No, you say you do, but you do not really, because you do not know me for one. You haven't built up a friendship or a relationship for over 6 months. So why would I turn around and tell you to move in with me on the first meeting? That's a bit stupid, because you usually do the courting stuff, which means then 1 week at theirs or 2 weeks at theirs and then back home, and then you do it vice versa, which has always been done. But everybody fucked off because I didn't do the playing with the scammer, because everybody wanted to do the playing with the scammer. I didn't say we weren't going to do it. I just got away on a tangent, but I was waiting for said people to come in the chat, and either if you wanted to join the panel, you were more than welcome to join the panel, because all I have to do is get the link for the top, copy and paste it and put it in the chat. I was ready to play, and I would have played with it for how long it would want to play, because it is still wanting to play. But I don't know where to start with the chat that's been between me and said scammer, because some of it is quite explicit, as in it gets raunchy from time to time and then not so raunchy, because I like to flirt, but I like to flirt with only one person. So if people think, well, okay, he said it's a scammer, but now he's saying that he likes to flirt, so he's as bad as a scammer, but I don't ask for said money and would never do that to somebody to take said money off them, because I believe that is what is classed in the United Kingdom as fraud and deception. And I already told her that my mum has went, oh no, so my mum's got a low opinion of her, and my daddy would have turned around and said it was a charlatan, because it takes money off of people and false pretenses of hope and promises. And I'm trying to go back as far as I possibly can. Because there's where it starts from, as in depending on the PayPal. If you want, guys, I can do it another night. Because I can keep it going, as in for another 2-3 days, and we'll make a full day of doing this, as in I'll do it back and forward until it gets until it gets fed up and decides to move on, because eventually it will get fed up, as in of not getting what it wants. But then if I want to keep a hold of it, all I need to do is get just a couple of quid. I could get just a couple of quid and say, oh well, the rest of the money is coming. I need another 7 days, or I need another 14 days, and keep it carrying on. But I'm asking you guys, what would you do? Would you block it? Would you shop it? Would you shop it in? Because Facebook won't do anything about it. Facebook will not do nothing about, as in that is classed as harassment and bullying, and you should be able to report it. But if it doesn't fall in the community guidelines of what's on Facebook, they won't shut it down. So the only thing you can do is block it, is actually block it. But it doesn't mean then that it goes away. It doesn't go away. It doesn't actually go away. It only crawls into the woodwork. And eventually it'll move on to somebody else. And that was the whole idea behind this, is to try and stop it from scamming others, but to make others aware of it. So that's what I kept saying. Michelle Natasha, you are famous. You have been named and shamed on Facebook. You are that person. You see you're not, because when you look at the profile pictures look identical to that person in a certain way, as in when you look at the eyebrows and stuff. That is actually on Facebook at the moment, using the name Michelle Natasha. It was originally a porn star, or said it was a porn star at one time in its life. So it's been in movies and whatever else with other guys banging it, or making it look like they banged it. Because I said to her, well, who's that? Because I thought it might be I thought that it might have had a sex. I thought it might have had a sex change. I thought maybe it could have, maybe. So I started asking the question, well, who's that? She goes, that's my dad. Oh, that's my dad, who's now deceased. But he'd be fucking fuming in his grave as his daughter doing that. I think unless he was the same, and that's why she's now doing it to others. Because usually it's inherited, as in down the line. But it doesn't mean then I would have a guilty, if it was me, I would have a guilty conscience, as in knowing that I had somebody else's money that didn't belong to me. Because it says it's supposed to be as in from Edinburgh, and I'm like, well, how the hell it moved from Edinburgh to Swindon? How the hell did it move from Edinburgh to Swindon? Unless it had family connections up there, and then it says that this one, her friends or a sister, which the sister looks younger than her. They were fighting at the week. According to her, they were fighting at the weekend to try and get the money back. So I thought, you're spoiled bloody. I thought, you're spoiled bloody rotten. I thought, so you're spoiled kids. You've had a silver spoon in your mouth. And my dad was friends with a guy, right? But he used it in the right domain, right? Now he's a big player in the car industry. Now I'm not going to badmouth the guy, right? But his father gave him a silver spoon in his mouth, and the guy used it in the right way. Now that man has done well for himself and has got a portfolio. And I thought, are you fighting over a couple of £100? I thought, what? Two sisters fighting over a couple of £100 because one's taking it. It belongs to the other one, but they're fighting over it. So the two of them isn't a potty piss. The two of them hasn't got a potty piss in, basically. But it'll latch on to other people that maybe have a few quid. But I only have a few quid because I saved it up for 4 years, because the whole idea was for me. I says to Mum, I want to see if I can reach £1,200 in my account. Mum says, well, if you can do it, good on you. And one day I turned around and says, Mum, I've reached my target. Do I owe you any money? No, I don't want any money off you. So for 4 years, she never took a penny off me. So when we done Dad's funeral, I fucked up there and all. Fun enough, as my insurance fucking thing and all the rest. That was a fucking cap. But we sorted it. We get a bit of money off the government. I think there's a handout scheme or whatever. I think it's like £300 or something like that. It does cover a funeral as the cremation. So $2,000 or something, $3,000 or something like that for a cremation. But anyway, there was, I think, 1,100 quid left or something like that over. And because Mum hadn't been taking any money off me, I thought, I'll owe my mum something. So my sister was up, and I kept looking at my sister, and I thought, I wonder if she's going to say anything as in to chip in a bit. But she's got kids her own and the rest, and fucking Joy finds it hard paying the mortgage and all the rest and trying to keep fucking roof over her head. I thought, well, it's not nice asking my sister, but I thought, well, maybe the family, when we done the week or whatever, the pot would have been put round and fucking the family would have chipped in there, but they didn't. So I thought, well, fucking miserable bastards. And a good week, mind you. And there was 1,100 quid left over, as in the last bit of that funeral. So I took Mum down to the funeral parlour, and the woman went like that. She went, "That's my son. She's, you know, my son. You've been in there a couple of times, as in because you're allowed in to see the deceased in the box and all the rest. Before the shut the lid and all that carry on. Fucking look good, too." And there was £1,100 left over. So I went down with Mum and I says, right, let's see the damage or whatever else. Mum goes, I'll put it in instalments. I said, no, you're not. Took her away down. The lassie woman, the old woman. She was not an old woman, but she was sort of dressed, well presented, but well spoken. This woman, the Kilbury with funeral, which is down in the old village. Took us in, told us, what is it, we can help you, one, Mr. Smith and Mrs. Smith. She says, that's my mum. I says, no, my girlfriend or whatever. I says, she laughed at that because we made a joke yet. And I turned around and said, I'm meant to pay my dad's funeral bill, the last part of the instalment. How you be paying it? Card. Shoved the card over the table. She took it. She says, is there enough funds in the account? So, oh yes, certainly there's enough money in the account because it's never been overdrawn. But the fact is that I don't feel that people should take it off me, as in and try and use and abuse me or take advantage of me. And this is what this one's doing, is taking advantage of somebody less fortunate than itself. But that money that I've got is in my savings account, which helps the channel keep it running, as in the costs and whatever else. And people go, but you put money into it, but you're not selling anything or you're not giving things away. But we know that it's not getting done yet, but I'm still, as in building the channel, and Dry Shaft Drew as a supporter of the channel, a long time member of this channel, but I met him through You Dizzy 1969 and Hazy Days, which are two awesome other people, which is two separate channels, which I love still as well. And I still watch the stuff from time to time. But it's hard to watch stuff, people's stuff, there's certain other channels you support, plus also create at the same time. It's hard to do all the bits and pieces. But I think this was all shout, or it was a good show. He's calling in, guys. I know that the chat didn't show as in the playing with the scammer, but as I said, we can still play with it. I can still retitle another one, another day, and still play with it, because I am going to keep it going. As in, I will probably talk to it, as in, or if even though I ignore it, it is still there. It'll still hang on until I actually speak to it, as in reply. But I won't be giving it any said money. I might get just a couple of pounds. I know that's defeating the purpose, But the more I keep it, as in from other people, it might eventually realise what's fucking going on. Because the only way, if it's going to scam other people, is that it's going to obtain money for somebody else. But it keeps saying that it loves me or whatever and wants to be with me, which I'm an ugly bastard, as in, no, the thing is, I can say negative things about myself, right? Because I'm allowed to. But if it was somebody saying it about me, then I have the utmost to turn around and tell them, fuck you, or you're an ugly bastard yourself. But the difference is, I'm saying it about myself, not about other people. As in, and that's the way I look at myself. I'm no oil painting, but I have had relationships, or as in, I don't know, I wouldn't say long-term relationships. Some of them have been short, but brief. But they've lasted for a bit. And the longest one was 14 years. But the thing is that I thought that was the love of my life. And I was going to be forever with her. And it turned out not to be, because she obviously didn't fucking love me as much as... But the thing was, I never ever could say I love you to her. And I think maybe that was a problem, not realising that and taking each other... because you do, as in a relationship, you take each other fucking granted eventually, because the sex gets boring, as in sex. It's like two rampant rabbits, as in thing, we want to... as in shag a bones off each other for 6 months, and then all of a sudden you're like, fucking do I have to? As in, and she's like, I'm gagging for it. How do you fancy it tonight? Fucking hang on, you're fucking boring. I've fucking done it all. As in, but sometimes, as in, you need to step it up a gear. Sometimes it's might as well, as in, instead of her buying a sexy outfit, some of you guys should think about it as maybe you buy a sexy outfit for your woman, leave it somewhere situated out for her, as if to say, this is a gift for you, but it's also for me as well. Because I tell you something, when you get together and you're there getting at that, the Clay's gaff, and the thing as in some people will leave the outfit on the woman and shag it with the outfit on it. Some is take the outfit off, not to dirty it and fucking do that. I can be rampant as well, but the thing is, I leave the sex or the thing, the foul mouth, I leave it off the channel. But there is times where I do, as in effing blind, because there's certain things that actually get under my skin, and when they crawl under my skin, you see the like come out, and it's like, I don't like that. But instead of me I shout it for the top of my lungs, and I'm like, if you're not listening to me, as no, you're not hearing me, because this is that scammer's den. It's not listening to what I'm saying here. I'm telling it. You're getting no more money, and it keeps on. I want, because that's what I done. I done the sketch. I want the money. Because I sent it. I actually sent it the video. I done the video, and then we sent it there. I'll show you the last one. Open the door. The guy opens it. Give me the money! Give me the money! Because it kept saying, LOL, but it says, LOL, babe, I only need the money. I will live on when I am with you, okay? So it's still, as in, and then it, as in, after that does it, it says, it's asking me what are you doing? I'm not going to tell it. I'm not going to tell it. It's live. It's live on YouTube. Michelle Natasha, named and shamed. You're on YouTube. You're on the channel. You might end up as in millions of views, but I don't know if it's good publicity or bad publicity. But I've been told that drama sells on YouTube. So, well, you've just duped me a £350, and thank you very much, because I've just got watch time on my channel because of you. So there you go. Right, I'm going to end the broadcast, and thank you guys for coming in. Thank you for taking the time, and you can comment at the end of the video, I don't really bother if it's negative comments. I'll sort of try and understand where that person's coming from, and I'll take it on board. Okay, the thing didn't get shown, and we didn't get chance to play with the scammer. As in, if somebody had turned around and said in chat, as in, Alex, let's show it, and said, try and take the last part of it and sort of shorten the thing and sort of start playing with it, I was willing to do it, because it's, as I said, it's still there. But I'll see you later, guys, because there's no watching, so there's no point in keep as in live.